everybody.
Happy Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Because now we are live on Thursdays.
It should be easier to remember.
Well,
if we hear it's Thursday.
And you know, even though we kept saying that we remember the day of the week based on the people that are here, it's when we hit this space. Because I know that it's Thursday. I was just talking to the ladies, but then it's just like you have that
correct
block.
Yep.
Well, happy Thursday. Welcome to Live from Raps from inside Raps Country Lanes. Naz, we are sitting in what has been dubbed as the 710 Studio.
710 Studio. We want to shout out to Joe Cal and Joe Bruno for allowing us to
use this space.
Appropriate their studio for ours for today.
Thanks, Joe and Joe. For those that don't know, and if you should know Joe Cal by now, Joe Bruno's been on the show with us. They do a live stream now that the season started prior to bowling in the Draft League every Monday night on their personal pages and then, of course, on the Draft League page. And they interview and talk all about the league and
interview
satire.
Yes. Interview the bowlers and generally rant occasionally.
They rant every week.
Not so much Joe Cal, Joe Bruno.
Joe Bruno definitely rants.
He gets on a roll. So.
And Kenny's usually Mr. Gorgeous, the cameraman.
Yes, he is.
We are in Studio 710. So today is officially day 2 of indoor dining, and we've been displaced again.
It's okay.
They had to open up the business 46 days ago. That's the new count with 46 days that we're open. So we got displaced in the lanes.
But this is good. This displacement we don't mind.
No.
We don't mind because it means progress. So we're happy about that.
Well, yes, progress. So we were in the bar for the last few weeks, and now the bar is open because indoor dining has started yesterday. So we didn't really want to disturb the setup in there, and hopefully people come and they sit and then,
and enjoy being inside and eating.
Yeah, we would be live streaming with from Cheers, essentially.
Yes. Maybe we will do that one week.
We could. In action. That would be fun. And I sound like crap, I'm sorry.
Frankie, you got a little bit going on with the sinuses.
I don't know if it's
this is a
allergies, it's definitely sinuses. Yeah. I mean, I go through this at least once a year.
Yeah.
But
this is a bad time of year. This is tough.
I don't have the coronavirus.
We're pretty sure of that. But
go ahead.
No.
You first, because I was going to answer a question. Go ahead.
But yeah, this is, and it's one of those times where even me, I mean, I have horrible allergies, but I got the nose spray going and the gargle with the silver. I got everything going, and usually I'm what Frankie is going through now. I'm usually going through, so I totally sympathize. I know it's miserable because when your sinuses get like that, just makes everything feel miserable.
It's during the day, it's not when you're up and moving and going, it's not an issue. It's when you're stopped.
Sitting, right.
Or laying in bed. That is the most miserable time for me. Like I got home last night. Whoa. Navaje.
That was my next question. I was gonna bring it up.
I have to say I have a new friend, thanks to my sister-in-law, the fancy neti pot. So
that is more than a neti pot.
Yeah, I used to use the squeeze bottle. I was a fan of the squeeze bottle, not necessarily a fan of the pot. This is the battery-operated neti pot, and so if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to show it. I have a video of me using it yesterday.
Oh, come on!
I sent it to Fran to show her. It's gross, but it's this really cool device. The water goes in the top with the saline packet. And then we're in the fishbowl, so we set ourselves up for this today.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to pass by. So, you pop the filter in and then you do it. And
but now, from what I understand, this doesn't the regular, even the squeeze bottle, which I use, it gravity brings it out. That's not the way this works. There is suction.
There's suction. So it's like, it's pushing and sucking. And if you watch it's gross. It is absolutely gross. Because when you do the neti pot, I mean, everything's coming out of the nostril.
Right.
This is a gross conversation.
It is a gross conversation, but people might want to
I want to sell the product. So if you're watching.
I told you already sold one. I've been watching, had my eye on it.
Stuff comes out and it sits in the reservoir. That's like the nastiest part. So I showed this video to my mother today because she had asked about it. She had talked about it. I said, "Oh, I just brought it home last night," because I did it here at work first, and then I did it last night. And I showed her the video, and she goes, "Oh, no." And you just see the stuff going into that. But I have to say, it's definitely, it's comforting, and it's consistent. Because I think the issue you have with the squeeze bottle, you try to be as consistent as possible.
Very difficult.
And then you choke.
Right.
And you don't breathe.
Right.
And I have to say, the only challenge is keeping the breathing with your mouth. So anyway, yes, great conversation. Sorry, Ken.
It is 2020.
And it's a product placement, but I'm not getting paid for it. So if you have issues with your sinuses, I do recommend it. Highly recommend it. That's not housekeeping seal of approval. The
Wilkinson seal of approval.
Or the live from Rabs seal of approval. Maybe I'll show the video, but it's gross. It's gross. So before Joe DeModio, thanks for dropping in. He's popping in to say hello, but he's asking how's the bowling. So day 46, that's a milestone because we were concerned that we wouldn't get this far.
Yeah,
the season's up and running.
Yeah. In
some cases, we're on week 4. This is the best topic while I'm making my lunch. Sorry, Hillary. Yeah, it is lunchtime. We are not eating yet. We're going to eat after Papa. So anyway, things are going good. We're about week 4 into the season. Some maybe a 5. No,
4.
We're in 4. Some 3s 4 that started later, and things are going well. We are, yes, business-wise, as far as numbers are concerned, we're down a significant amount, and for the things that we talked about a couple weeks ago, for all different reasons, and everybody's doing their thing. A
lot of it is, with the requirement of the restrictions on our capacity.
Right. So the capacity is the crazy part about the capacity, we're at 50% capacity. However, for indoor dining, it's 25%. Now, the beauty of all that
is that
is that we're kind of operating at that number anyway.
Correct.
So it makes it a little bit easier for us as we're working. So we didn't use partitions to use more lanes. We're using every other pair, and on a regular league night, it's every other pair. And so the most people on the lanes is less than our 25% capacity.
Correct. So we have no worries about. We have no worries about.
Pat Regan, it's Thursday. We would normally see you outside.
So you're correct, but it is good that you dropped in.
You too. But overall, things are well. Last night, I have to say, the first 2 weeks without the indoor dining was a little depressing. This is a very social activity.
It was definitely different, and we both stood on the concourse, just kind of watching for a little while.
Right here,
and and it was funny because my observation of the first few weeks is that people were here and they were kind of getting back into being around other people, but there was a distinct difference between before last night and last night. I watch people, some teams sit down in the settee, some on the concourse, even amongst team members, maybe sitting together, but not a lot of conversation.
Yeah, for those that are bowled league, I think you can understand what we're saying. It just was different. And even with my team, the good thing is that on Tuesday nights, this was the first time I bowled in a few weeks. We're working. And although there might be something about the mask, because week 1 out of the box, I bowled 762. So maybe there's something to this. People don't want to bowl.
There you go, another product.
It's not the easiest thing, but at the same time, with my team, we always sit together. We always sit on the concourse.
Yes.
We usually eat together, a couple drink. It's just whatever. And it is difficult to have conversations.
Well, there's a couple things. One, you got the masks too.
Like the masks.
That inhibit the conversation a little bit. And I don't know, you're just kind of sitting there. It's kind of like food brings it together. And the alcohol doesn't hurt either.
The alcohol doesn't help. So it was nice to smell pizza and French fries and beer last night. And I will say, we really didn't really have issues with the masks last night.
No, so, I watched people as they got up. I think maybe it because people who've been dining out are kind of into that mode anyway. When you get up to leave the table, you put your mask on. So, yeah, I didn't see,
No, it went well for the most part. I mean, listen, a couple people here and there, but
Yeah.
I have to say, and we're reminding people before they bowling, the worst thing, you've heard us say this before, I don't want to have to tell anybody they have to wear their mask, and so please just help us help you.
Yeah, yep.
We don't want to be in that position. So.
we have much better, more important things to spend our
Yeah,
time doing.
walking around and telling people to put a mask on is annoying.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, at
let
least
alone
we
for
don't
you.
have to tell them to put their food away.
Right, they can't eat.
Right.
I felt so bad. Tuesday night, one of our league bowlers decided to get a slice of pizza, not really thinking about it, and just started eating it right behind the ladies' league. And all the ladies just turned around and noticed. And of course, ran over there and spoke to him. And I said, the sad part, it's about 9 o'clock, 8:30 on Tuesday night. It's not acceptable today, but tomorrow when you come and bowl,
It'll be okay.
So do me a favor, just take it outside. And the poor guy went outside with bowling shoes.
Yeah, and it was the rainy night.
And I was like, oh. So the indoor dining is certainly a relief for everyone. The ladies today were very excited and sitting there and coffee clutching. And of course, my friend Claire says, I don't have to wear the mask. I said, Claire, I'm just coming to say hello.
Right. Oh, because she was sitting at the
So I said,
table.
no, you have to, I have to eat you have to eat the bagel through your mask. I told her.
Well, can it come with a hole in it?
Well, that's what it turned into the conversation about the hole for the drinks, or like the Pampers mask. If you've seen those memes where people flip it and they eat, it's pretty funny. But so far so good. We might have to teach them mask etiquette. When you take your mask off.
To put it don't put it. I always fold mine.
I do too.
I don't want
in my pocket.
to leave it kind of.
But they put it face down, and so that defeats the whole purpose of the mask, because everybody's touching the table, and now you've
whatever was in there
on the table. I was in an event Thursday night and went through this, and so at the podium, somebody came up to speak to the microphone and did exactly that, and I was like,
You'll be talking from over here from now on.
yeah, I'm not touching the podium, and my stuff is there. I was like, it's just a shame that these are the things you have to think of, and you don't think of it. You just take it off and you do your thing. It's just
It's a different world we live in.
it certainly is. Mike Kennington, hello to you too, and I have to say,
Hi,
funny.
Mike.
Earlier in the show, for those of you that have been watching us, you know that our opening video has some very distinct music. And we've learned that through time, branding, the power of sound is important. Well, not only Fast Signs uses that same sound in their commercial. Mike was sitting there watching TV, and I believe it was the U-Haul commercial came on with the same music. And I think he thought we were on TV in Florida.
But it is funny because, Frankie texted me, and I was, I started thinking about when I heard it somewhere else, and I immediately wait a minute, that's our song. But because you so strongly associate a music with a particular thing or time or it's just funny.
Well, we've only been listening to it for 128 episodes.
Every day, and for
day.
a while it was every day.
Every single day. Hey,
Uncle
a drop in
Ed.
from Uncle Ed. How'd you bowl today?
Just 600.
That's it? Not bad for an old coat.
No, just 510.
Come on. Yeah,
That's pretty.
5, 10. Missing 10 pins. Terrible. And I have to say, watching him bowl, that pisses him off because
well, come on. Because really,
he's been bowling for 100 years.
yeah, really, as difficult as a spare that can be, you really feel like, I should have mastered this by now.
Yeah.
I should have come up with some kind of plan that makes it that I make that pin no matter what.
Especially him, I say, because he's very consistent. And listen,
Yeah,
80
absolutely. And not a complicated game.
80
it's
years
the
old,
game. Yeah. I tell people that all the
He
time.
shot 680 a couple weeks ago, and he was like, look at this. And interesting, fun fact, Uncle Ed has bowled a 300 game in every decade that he's been bowling.
I am not surprised.
So now this is the start of a new decade.
Oh, well, he's got
some time.
He's got some time.
But yeah, he's bowled a 300 in every decade that he's bowled. At least one.
That's pretty cool.
He's been at it for a long time.
Yeah.
And still throws the ball the same.
Yeah.
Him and my dad, very similar styles.
I was talking to somebody came in and was talking about bowling with your dad, and your uncle back in the day. And I said, Eddie's still out here getting it done. And you know what? If you watch him bowl, he bowl a lot like Ram. They were really, really similar games. Really similar.
Yeah, and
And really, really, I mean, in their time, they were quite the force.
they were, from what I've been told. What I've been told, it wasn't there. But you know what?
I really wasn't really there either,
But they were. They really
they,
were.
I mean, when you talk to people, they were.
And not just them. There were a whole bunch of them.
There
And
was, right.
I would say, you know, the one that I think catches everybody funny is Joe Giovinazzo. Joe, if you're watching,
Oh, yeah.
when you talk about Joe, and he stopped bowling for a long period of time. So they just associate, he doesn't bowl.
Right.
No, and then he was
He was right in there
the
with
top of
those
the game
guys.
at one
Yeah.
point in his time.
Yeah.
And then sadly he got discouraged and he won't do it anymore. But if you are watching or piping in, I want you to, because he does pipe in.
Yes, he does.
He gets so mad, and he just, you know, something you lose the strength, you lose the power, and he's like, I want to be bowling like I used to do.
Right.
You're a
it's,
goat.
Right. It's perception.
Yeah.
Everything is about perception, and you know, you need to maybe change your goals as you age, and maybe you might not have the power, but maybe you're more accurate. So, but hey, that's getting old. That's life.
One
We're
of
happy
the-
to be here.
One of the tricks that Ed did, he uses 4 fingers in his bowling ball. So he drilled just for leverage purposes. So rather than going too far down and weight, he just added, and it works. Like 4? It's got 4 holes.
Does
Yeah, I think
does he have all 5? Or does he have this?
No, I think it's 3.
Oh, okay, because you were going like.
I know. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at his bowl and trying to figure out. No, I think
He probably has 4, 3 in the thumb.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But I don't think he's a tucker. I don't think he tucks his pinky. A lot of those guys were tuckers. The only I do have to ask: has anybody noticed sound quality today? Can you hear us better? When we were in the bar, we weren't using a microphone, and we discovered when we went back, we had a lot of echoing from the bar itself, but also the refrigeration.
Well, we have some ambient
Well, that's
noise
what-
in here too.
So the ambient noise we have here is the air conditioning, and I never take into consideration the pro shop, the drill and shop vac is right in this back corner. But the microphone should be picking us up a little bit better, but you haven't complained that you can't hear us, so that's a good thing. When I shot Rob Butler, when I shot my 827.05, Ed shot 792 that night. Beat him out for Staten Island Advance headline. That's funny. Check that out.
Back in the day.
That's not that long ago. That's 15 years.
It's back in the day.
It's funny to say that. I have no
It's really back in the day,
perception
you think about it.
of time anymore, especially these days.
So, Frank, I gotta ask you a question. I don't know if you were leading anywhere, but it feels a little different now doing it once a week, doesn't it?
It does.
I feel like when we were doing it every day, we kind of had like a flow, like, you know, it was every day. Here we are, just like going to work. Here we are.
Yeah.
And now when it's once a week, it's kind of like, it feels different.
It does feel different. It does. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Mike's asking if we're in the nursery today. No, we are in Studio 7. We should put a sign up in the top here.
We should get a
Studio
little
7,
sign
top 710.
that we can cover or flip over when it's birthday.
They won't even notice. Up in the top. We are in Studio 710. This is party room number 2. And, you know, this could be our little home for a little while, because with the capacity constraints of 25% for indoor dining, we could use this room, I think 50%, but for dining it's 25. We can only have 10 more people in this room. So we're not really using the party rooms at this time.
Yeah, that's all.
I mean, we're gonna have birthday parties with 12 kids and their parents out there. I mean, that might be actually best for us. Get the parents.
Right. I'm sure some kids might prefer that. But for right now, with the setup with the behind the lanes is working out really well. So,
Yeah, so we're excited to be able to start.
yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me. We're excited to be able to start birthday parties on the concourse, and as said. So we weren't really offering the party package before because the whole outdoor, indoor. But you have the option to go sit outside. You can eat outside. You can eat inside. and to do your thing. So we're excited to turn that at another.
Is
Is he skipping? Hi, Ann. Ann is bowling. We're excited to turn on another piece of the business.
Right, like I said, little baby steps towards.
Ultimately, you want to just turn everything on, and that was an internal battle for us because it really was okay. We're open. Let's go do this, and
Right.
then, Naz and I would look at each other, and go, no, and we really couldn't because you want to. We've talked about this when we first opened. If you go back to our opening show on August 18th, 17th, we kind of phase things in, and it makes it easier for us and our staff.
And the staff, right.
Would I have loved to have indoor dining the last 3 weeks? Absolutely. Because it's crucial to this business. At the same time, it was nice to be able to turn it on last night as people are just get into the swing. So now birthday parties is the next thing. Be exciting to bring our party staff back.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately really hadn't had the opportunity to work in the last 46 days. So they're excited too. A few of them were trying to set up bowling party packages in the current environment. And why don't we just do bowling? Why don't we just do this? And we could do all of those. But one of the things that we were seeing, and we're still seeing, we're not going to book the amount of parties that we were for quite some time. People are still not ready to
right? Like they're not ready to go
have a big party.
Yeah.
And the school thing is a challenge because you have to, depending on the school, you have to invite all the kids in the class.
Correct.
And now, do you know all the kids in your class?
Right.
If you have a split class and I'm only in the bubble with these kids, it makes it a little difficult for some parents.
There's a lot of.
So we're seeing, and I don't know if Kevin or Stephanie, if you guys are watching, Stephanie can give us a little better insight. She's been fielding the phone calls. And I'll ask Lori again, but it seems a lot of them are family too.
I was just going to say they're sticking to close family and close friends. If they've had a friend or two that they've been close to, and and you listen. In a way, maybe that's not such a bad thing.
No.
And listen, big parties are great, but. It's a lot on a parent to handle the finances of a party, getting all that together. And right now, parenting is difficult. Most of them are teaching too and trying to juggle their job, and it's a lot.
No, 100%.
Listen, parents got it. They got it tough right now. So.
Yeah, I stopped at my sister-in-law's house yesterday. And Fran hasn't been working because she's working from home because the kids are home, and so her kids are blended. That's 2.5 days in and out, whatever it is. And so yesterday happened to be the day that they were home, and I walk in, and so it's about 10:30. It was actually right when we were on the phone with you. I was stopping there to go to the urgent care, and Thomas is still in class, and Allie is done with her class because it's lunchtime. It's lunchtime at 10:20, 10:30. There's Fran in the kitchen making grilled cheese sandwiches for the kids. Going nuts, pulling her hair out, trying to help Allie, trying to help Thomas. And Thomas he's doing really well, and he loves it. She's in kindergarten, so there's a whole different experience.
She's little,
for her. And but then yesterday when I came to work, Allie's iPad must have died, and so they used log me in. Fran had to connect to a computer, and so she used the computer from work. And so now I go in the office and I can see the Zoom session of Allie in class. It's a disaster. I don't know. I think I counted 10 kids, 12 kids maybe. Allie's there. They're doing some exercises and counting, and she's sitting there popping her head and dancing, but she's all over the place.
Right.
Then there's another duo, the girl and her baby sister, and they're fighting. And they're all on mute. But she's there, and I'm watching the little one come over and try to get into the see what she's doing, and she's pushing her away, and people's pushing her away. Then there's another kid. There's two of them in the class together. I don't know if they're sisters or if they're neighbors or friends. Something. Who's not even in the picture? Who's upside down? I feel terrible for parents and teachers because this is not easy to deal with.
Yeah.
So kudos to all the teachers out there. I say it over and over. And friends, I have friends that are working full time in school 5 days a week, and they're very thankful for that. It's going well. There are some that have blended, and I'm hearing mixtures from teachers that are friends, and Hey, at this point, it is what it is.
Yeah, a friend of mine is, she teaches in, probably like a fourth grade, second, third, fourth grade. And, she's all remote, her kids are all remote.
It's a
But
lot.
I believe they gave them the choice of teaching remote from the school or from our home.
Right.
And, so yeah, it's this is stuff, it's 2020, people.
Anything goes. You know, the thing with the in school and at home, a lot of teachers just felt like if they have the option to be in the school, many, you know what? I just want to get out of my house. I want to get changed. I want to get out of my pajamas. I don't mind being in the classroom. Now some are not for different reasons. Some, I don't mind being in the classroom by myself. At least I'm at somewhere where I can see other adults. Like the whole thing with the psyche that we've been talking about since day one is so real, and I don't care what job you're doing, but especially for teachers, it's a concern. So kudos.
Yeah. And then you have the problem that the teachers have to be in the building. If you're in school, you have to be in the building at 8:00. Kids can't go into the building until 8:30.
Right.
So now if you have kids that are going to school and they can't go in the building till 8:30, you have to be at school at 8.
Oh, you're talking about teachers with
Teachers with kids. So
Interesting.
yeah,
there's a lot of different variables that we're
it
seeing.
is certainly 2020.
I don't 20 needs to end. We should I think the next countdown. I feel like
You can do that.
Blasio,
Days till the end of
to the end of 2020. I think that's what we're gonna have to start counting down to. Although hey, so two things. First, you were not here last week, and I did miss you, as did Pam. Pam did a great job filling in for you.
She was wonderful. I got to watch a little.
Pam was excited to be with us, so we love having Pam with us, and she's going to pop in and out. She was excited. I said to her, I said, by the way, it's just you and I, and she had been running late from an appointment. And I said, fine, we'll just start a little bit later, no big deal. And so when she got here, she was like, oh, I said, no, it's just me and you. She didn't believe me. So she was excited to have that opportunity to just.
Yeah.
And it was good because we talked about, it was the week before indoor dining. So
there was a lot to talk about last week.
Certainly. And now I am interested to see, from your perspective, it was only yesterday, but are you willing to eat indoors at this stage at this point in time? Because that was part of the conversation.
Right.
Some restaurants may not even bother with putting seats
Right.
inside because of their outdoor setup and the additional staff needed to do both.
Yeah.
Some are full-fledged doing it.
Yeah.
Some didn't have outdoor dining, so now they've finally got to
Right.
reopen
Have something.
but are you because this is a mixed thing. Are you comfortable with eating indoors? And I want to know where you're going first to be able to eat indoors.
You know, it's funny because first of all, I always enjoyed eating outdoors. So I feel like as it's available, because there's going to be plenty of time to eat indoors.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like for right now, as long as the weather is nice, I would rather eat outdoors.
When I have the choice, I do pick to sit outside, depending on the place.
Right.
It depends on the environment and the place. But if I have
Right.
a choice, we will. If it's nice out, we'll always pick
Yes.
outside.
Yeah.
It also depends, though. I will say, like, my sushi place wasn't open at all. I ordered several times. Last week, I was excited. Jenny said to me, she goes, "You come next week."
Oh,
And I don't know, Jenny, if you're watching, I'm sorry I didn't come last night, but I will be there. But they didn't do any outdoor dining.
Yeah.
So now they posted a picture, and of course it's a small place to begin with, so I don't know what
Right.
the capacity is.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. But I think for me, the first place to be able to go and actually sit in a restaurant is have sushi, because I get it at home, it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Some things are definitely, especially finer dining, is not the same.
No.
At home.
Because it's also right. It's very difficult. We've talked about that a bunch of times, taking food out. But I do want to know. So if you're comfortable with sitting inside, where's the first place that you want to go sit? And Rob's piping in about it's not fun teaching, wearing a mask, trying to talk and sing. Well, as a music teacher, that would probably be challenging. And moving class to class. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's some schools they're forcing you're in one place. I guess
Right.
it depends on the school.
I-
I don't know who said. I think it was Giuliano. The rebirth of the Catholic school, the parochial school, right? And it's so true because it has a lot to do with parents working and needing a space to be able to send their kids and feeling comfortable with how the archdiocese is handling the situation. But it's so true. I can't tell you how many people I know that have decided to put their kids in Catholic school.
My concern is that people are moving their kids to parochial school based on it as a child care decision instead of that it's an education decision. So I don't know, it's
It goes both ways.
it does go both ways, and I guess as part of schooling, your overall picture is child care too, but after so many schools have closed on Staten Island, I'm sure seats are at a premium, and many of them.
They certainly are. And even in public schools, it's a challenge. The conversation of not having enough schools. You don't have enough seats in the classroom.
Yeah. A lot of people are hitting on the Board of Ed for their handling of this, and I'm not saying they've done a great job, but this is the largest public school system in the world, I believe. Definitely in the United States.
Yeah.
And I cannot even imagine the logistics of every small decision that gets made, which is why I don't understand the resistance to kind of breaking it up into allowing either the school or the district to kind of come up with a plan of how they're going but I mean, it has to be okayed and agreed upon, but
It's a disaster. And
it's,
it bothers me that we've had 5 months, the largest school system in this country had 5 months to figure this out, and we are still at a crossroads where we don't know what's
they don't have
going
enough staff. Listen, people
No.
were jumping ship from public schools before this, and I don't want to say jumping ship in a bad way. I know many teachers that had tired of the public school system.
Yeah. Anyway, we could talk about that for a long time.
Yeah.
I did want to mention the weather. So, and I think it's also a part of the problem too, between allergies and
I doubt it does.
We had we had warm, we had a nice cold spell.
Yeah.
And like today
It's kind of right in the middle. It's supposed to be 70 something today.
it's 72 according to our watch. The problem is I'm getting dressed and like, all right, I have short sleeves on, but then it was windy, so I took a jacket with me and then I was sweating.
Right.
So now we're back in between, where again, outdoor dining could be nice. Last night we had some incidental music pop up. Georgie Zip was back and he played outside, which was really cool.
It must have been wonderful. I wish I would have stayed.
I know Rob was out there hanging out with Joe. Joe was upset he couldn't do karaoke. Because we live in Footloose these days. You can't dance, you can't sing, can't do anything outside. No entertainment. But it was nice to have that a little more normalcy. But it was breezy, but it was really nice out.
Yeah.
So that's hopefully, I know it's 2020 and I hate to
But hopefully this will hang for a little bit.
Yeah.
The weather.
I'm a firm, again, I don't want to put this in the universe, but I'm a firm believer that this is going to be a rough winter. We got really spoiled, and 2020 wouldn't surprise me if we had not 1, 2, 3, or 4 blizzards.
Think about
But
it.
hey, let's hope that's not the case.
The winters have progressively gotten milder.
Yeah.
And different. I mean, not that we haven't had like a out of the blue storm out of nowhere, but in general, the winters have gotten definitely warmer, I would say.
Yeah, well, I remember.
And definitely less snow. Well, the ice caps and all that.
It goes on and off, right? So last year was very mild. This winter before comparative too. But then like 5 years ago, we had snow on Halloween.
Right, that's what I mean, different. It's like the patterns of the weather are changing.
And you know it from if you garden, you certainly know it. And I can tell you, like, I'm so upset. My tomato plant outside, I got all these tomatoes. I picked them the other day. They're green, but they're not going to turn outside because of the weather.
Right. How's your experiment?
So, you know what, Naz? We can talk about that. So I got 12 tomatoes, and I picked them, I put them in a basket, I brought them home to ripen. Well, I open up the drawer. I don't have any paper bags at home. Because the trick to ripening tomatoes is putting them in paper bags with an apple or banana and letting them ripen. So the acid, whatever
ethylene gas.
releases from the apple and banana to ripen the fruit. And now that makes more sense. So we always have a fruit basket on the counter, and I'm always moving the bananas because they create problems to the other fruits. And somehow my avocados always wind up with bananas, and that they get brown really fast. And so now I started reading more. So anyway, so I didn't have any paper bags. And then yesterday I forgot to pick some up. So this morning I just took the bananas and the apples and put them on top of the tomatoes.
You covered them with
in the basket.
Covered the tomatoes.
So right now in the basket there's paper towel on the bottom in a wicker basket.
It'll still happen.
And I just put them on top.
It'll still speed it up.
We'll see. One of them actually started to turn already. You could also hang the tomatoes for I'm assuming you snip them and hang them.
Still in the plant.
Still on the plant, but you snip the plant and hang it. Or you
like how you get on the vine, maybe.
Yeah.
How you get on the vine tomatoes.
I mean, if you're gonna pull it out of the ground.
Yeah. Well, then what are you
and
gonna
hang it? I mean, that plant is
right. I'm just gonna say, then wherever you're gonna hang that.
Yeah. I picked 9 figs yesterday.
Well, I had one. It was delicious.
They were good. They're the white.
I can't
figs.
wait. Hopefully, I'll get figs next year. It's still kind of a little baby, not like yours, but I'm hoping next year.
This will get rewrapped, and I'm hoping that we'll get more fruit next year, and we'll be in good shape again. But I was very surprised with the amount of fruit that we did get this year. There's some more coming, but that's it. Whatever's there is it. And I think some of them aren't even gonna, because of the weather. And this back and forth with the weather. My point was the back and forth with the weather doesn't help with the gardening situation because you wind up with the early frost. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to go out there today because I think there are some more figs to pick. And I was gonna plant beets. I was reading, and beets are something that you can plant now.
I don't stalk galactica.
So I was gonna rip out where the mint was because it's still growing.
Yeah, the mint is so invasive. That's the problem with the mint.
It really
It's almost like like you said, like the bananas don't play well with others, but the mint doesn't either. The mint wants to be in everybody's business.
We had it all under control, and then I don't know what happened. But it's funny because the strawberries grew with no problem, and the mint next to it, and then the mint just started overgrowing, and now there's mint in the whole pot after all the strawberries were pulled out. So I wanted to clean it up, and then there's still a little more time for the beets, so I think I'm gonna give that a shot. We love beets, so.
You like beets?
You're good,
You like the beets?
especially the big ones.
Oh, yeah. You let me know if you can grow those.
I don't.
You might
I don't
need
think
a
we
big,
can.
deep.
Yeah, I don't know if we
something.
can.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't looked at I have to look at the seeds because I don't know if there's
I
an
was gonna
option for like in horse carrots, like horse beets.
I don't know.
So Naz, how have you been bowling?
I was bowling really good until this week, but I just had a bad week. Chalk it up to a bad week, and I was I didn't do well this week. That's all I can say.
Did your team at least recover?
We won, not on the draft league. No, there's no coming back from that. But we bowled as a team. They bowled phenomenal. I didn't bowl well, and listen, it happens. You're not gonna have in the draft league. You have 12 weeks in a third, and you're not gonna bowl. Most people, unless you're Jeff Charest, are not gonna bowl good every week. So
well, that's why when your average is 230, your average is 230, 240.
240, right? Yeah, exactly. You have to shoot 720
Tuesday
to maintain.
Tuesday night, we bowled a team that they're great guys. They kick our butts every time we bowl them.
Isn't it funny how they're just teams that really just have your number?
Oh, and they bowled phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think there were 5 or 6 700s on our pair. No, 5 700s, 2 on our team. And it was funny because Chico was following us next door, and he came by and he goes, "Whoa, I want to bowl in these lanes." And I shot 760, and Kevin shot 750, and we lost 5 points. That's what tells you about now. My other teammates maybe didn't perform.
Yeah,
so
I was just gonna say. Maybe
I'll lead off. The guy that works here with the blue hair.
I know who he is.
He bowled like poo.
Smurf.
Michael, you bowled like poo.
Well, he went for bowling
And he was bowling
3
really
times
well.
a week to bowling once.
He's bowling once right now. He was bowling really well. So we need to get him back in the swing of things. And it's only the first 4 weeks. This was position, so that didn't help.
It is what it is. It's 1 week and it's
Our-
one small sample.
Everybody has goals when they bowl, right? So our goal, when we look at the standing sheet, the way that Ed Lardy does our sheets, it's split. So instead of most leagues are old, they go straight down. He happens to split the.
Oh, so you want to be on
we always want to be on the left side of the page, and not when you turn it
Right,
upside
that's what I
down. That
used to
becomes the other joke. But we want to be on the left side of the page. That's our goal. Unlike yesterday, little Jackson Kaczynski, who bowls on Wednesday. Jackson's at this big, and he comes to the office. My little buddy, before, during, after
He
bowling,
is too cute. Oh, and during.
and during. And he loves to bowl. So he started last week. He didn't want the bumpers. He started with bumpers. We took them down, and he was doing really well.
Yeah.
This week he started no bumpers. Then he was upset. We have to have the bumpers. Okay, so we put the bumpers back on. And then I came in the office and I said to him, I said, "All right, so what's your goal today? To throw the ball down the lane and not hit the bumpers." I said, "All right." And then I didn't see him after that until I went out there. So I think he was struggling a little bit.
It's tough.
But that was his goal. And I have to say, to watch kids at that age bowl,
That's the best.
it's so much fun because they're just
They mostly are just really, for the most part, they're having fun. And what I like about that age is watching them assimilate into the sport. Now, I mean, we have kids, Jackson and Tyler, his brother. They've been bowling in the program for a few years. And then last week we had a couple of new kids, and kids fascinate me with how resilient they are, with the right encouragement.
oh yeah.
Because we had a couple kids that, at first we kind of placed them with kids based on their age. We kind of watched them and warm up and said, "Oh, it's probably not going to work out."
Right.
The other kids all knew each other, and then there were two new kids, and they kind of looked lost. So we just took them on a lane by themselves.
You
And
made it friends.
it wasn't. It was about making them feel that there was a place for them
Yeah.
here too, and but to me that's so important because I mean I know. Listen, I've been bowling since I was 9 years old. I was never really good. I wasn't good, but I
You
enjoyed.
became good.
I mean, I was when I was an adult. But as a junior bowler, I there was a part of me that always felt intimidated because the kids were so much better than me, and but I went every day because I felt like even though I wasn't as good as them, there was still a place for me there, and I think that kids, even adults, really need that so much right now.
It's a social interaction. It's a big. We say this all the time.
And,
It's not just about
yeah.
physical activity. It's social
Absolutely.
recreation.
And I cannot say what my heart almost exploded in my chest. These two kids that really didn't even know each other. And usually I encourage them to talk to each other a little bit. I just kind of left it because I was focusing more on helping them get the ball down the lane and how they were feeling. They started fist bumping each other and encouraging each other.
We're in the same boat.
And I was like, this is what it's supposed to be. This is what the world should be.
Well,
And it really made me, the one of them was there with his grandfather, the other kid was there with his dad. And, they started talking back and forth to each other, really nice. And I was like, they gave me such a good feeling for the rest of the week. It's just because, I felt like the next week going forward, they wouldn't walk into the center with that, maybe I don't belong here feeling.
Sure.
They were going to come in with a positive feeling. So, yeah.
That's what it's about. So youth bowling programs are up and running.
The best
Wednesday, Friday,
people.
Saturday. Our CYO program starts Monday, and the cool part about the CYO program, we've been able to introduce bowling to more kids. And what we've seen this season, we have a lot of kids that were doing other sports that were looking
Yeah.
for something,
So we
and
got
now
a
they
bunch
found
of new
bowling.
ones.
So we're hoping that we can keep them and get them engaged. And what I even, to your point about the little ones, it's the next generation. So now my brother's kids bowl. Keith just got his kids to bowl.
So hysterical watching these guys come in.
And so like they're the next another generation. And Naz used to say how she knew grandparents with their grandchildren bowling or whatever, young grandparents who have kids in the program, and it's crazy to watch. And I feel the same way. Having been bowling since a kid, and we've been here 25 years and being around it, and you just see, whoa, where did that come from? Or we've always talked about this, like when the school season starts and new season starts. Well, how did you get so tall over the summer?
Another part that I love,
Yeah.
seeing when they come, because a lot of kids, and I want them to be outside in the summertime doing other things, and maybe coming in bowling, that's fine too. But when they come back after that, you almost feel like a teacher seeing them come back after the summer, and it's like everybody's grown, especially, boys get that growth spurt. It's crazy. Like they go from where you can't see them over the counter to all of a sudden they're like a full head above the counter. Like
size 7.
Yeah, exactly. It's just,
what happened to you? You used to be so tiny. Tyler DeLuca, great example. Bowling since he's little, and then all of a sudden now he's a little man, and it's just like this is.
I'm sure he loves you calling him a little.
Yeah, he's a little man. I like breaking his job. There's a bunch of them. And it's awesome. That's what you want. It's building the next generation of bowlers and finding them a home to make them feel as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, that's.
Speaking of social recreation, which bowling truly is, our friends from On Your Mark started coming back in this week.
Yes.
And so when I walked in yesterday, one group of guys was right over
They
here.
had a nice group there.
Oh my God, Buddy was so excited when I went over there and said, welcome back. They all started clapping. They were excited to be back to bowling.
Yeah.
And they've been truly in a bubble with their families, whether they're in their families or at their homes.
Well, their group home, right?
Yeah, and it's just been a challenge. So even our friends, A Very Special Place, if you watched our show, Diane Buglioli was on, talking about the struggles that they've had.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see, again, it's another phase where they can start some recreational programs.
Yeah.
They're not doing it with everybody,
Right.
a little at a time, and it's nice to see. But they were so excited.
Yeah.
They just reminded me, another group of guys, they came in again today.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that they can get back to their regular.
And it's so
everybody get back to their regular
important.
things.
It's so important to them.
Oh, especially, yeah.
It's especially because they came from, being in so many different programs and so much socialization. Because On Your Mark does such a great job
And
to
then
like being,
shut down.
and then just not being, and even, they spoke about it, how hard it was for them to understand why they couldn't.
Right, I think that's the biggest thing. And,
Yeah.
Diane talked a little bit about that, where
Yeah,
they don't
what I
just
said,
don't
they told
understand.
Right.
So day 2 of indoor dining, Naz, we haven't had a meme of the day in a while.
Yes,
So
I
I
like
have
this meme, and I'm really hungry, and that looks about right.
So my trainer said, I can have just one slice. That is a large slice. That's a pie.
That is something
But I'm
else.
only gonna have one slice. Today's meme of the day.
Don't let Tina see that.
So I have to say, Tina, I did show off one of our meals.
Yes.
Tina's been fantastic. Tina has been doing some meal planning and prepping for us. She gets a little slack this week. She was a little busy, so we didn't get meals every day. But yesterday she made cauliflower rice with avocados.
I will tell you, not to interrupt you,
No.
I made cauliflower rice stir fry last night.
Oh.
But sometimes when I leave here, it's like I want to go home and I know I have to cook, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even stand the thought of it. I'm just so tired. But you know what? I had some cauliflower rice. I had some veggies that I prepped during my Sunday meal prep, and I took a couple of the veggie burgers out, and it was
Included that?
done.
Oh.
It was done in 20 minutes.
That's kind of what she made. It was kind of more of a fried rice type.
Yeah, right. Because I
No,
put
the protein was the
was the
avocado.
avocado.
but it had some jalapenos.
See us.
You know, you would have
Yeah.
been very upset
I don't
with Tina
want-
if you would have
I know.
opened that and took a bite, because you didn't notice it. I took a bite, I was like, whoa. And I
That's
love
the
them.
thing with the jalapenos. They can be so sneaky.
They can be. Oh yeah, no, yesterday I was like, whoa. And so Lori looked at me and she goes, what's that? And Lori didn't have one of the meals yesterday. And I said, oh, she snuck us. I think she snuck these in on us and didn't tell us. So it's been,
But they all
it's
good for
been
you
nice.
though.
Some of us have lost some additional weight, some maybe not. But the problem is you come in and then like today, Fran brought donuts again from our friend Mark, because we have this running joke, since you don't have the donuts every day. Jimmy was looking for donuts, and she brought Jimmy donuts, but you can't just bring Jimmy donuts, you gotta bring everybody donuts.
Right, well, you know.
And they're all cut in half in the office, so now, Tina, I did have half a donut today. I had a pumpkin spice donut, so I didn't feel too bad, because I mean, it was baby pumpkin.
I'm not a fan of the pumpkin.
Oh, it's so good. And it weren't like too spicy, delicious, absolutely delicious.
My mother actually pulled a recipe out of a book. She gave it to me. I think she was trying to hint that she feels like I
That
should
you should
cook
make
it. It cooked a cake in the pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
So I totally ignored it. I just said, I don't like pumpkin. She goes,
I
you
would
know,
try that.
you know, it's not a pumpkin, you cook it in the pumpkin. I was like, okay.
It's like, if anybody's watched the Asian girl on Facebook and YouTube, Emmy Maid, have you seen her?
I think, is she on TikTok too?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
She might be, I don't know. But she does all the crazy things. She'll try it. Basically, you've seen it, she makes it.
Right.
She took a chicken and made it inside the watermelon. She took a watermelon, hollowed it out, put a chicken, brined the chicken, put it in, and then baked it in the oven.
And what would that do?
Well, flavors from the watermelon and
But if she scoops it out, it's
well, it still isn't, not all of it. You're leaving
Oh,
some to fit
I
the
thought
chicken.
you meant
no,
to the
not complete.
rind.
No.
I was gonna go.
But it's still, I mean, the rind still has whatever.
Right.
Really like gross looking, like shrunken. She said it was excellent, but interesting when you say making
Right.
things inside other.
Right.
I happen to like pumpkin. I can eat pumpkin puree out of a can. Like I like.
I just never.
But wait, so you don't like pumpkin? However, you did show a picture. You sent me a picture the other night. You had a delicata squash.
Oh, squash is a different. To me, that's different. I know people are gonna. You're gonna tell me that pumpkin is just a squash.
No.
Or whatever you're gonna.
I
Tell me.
will say though, the delicata squash, that squash,
That's a delicious squash.
it is, but
I
it
like
does
almost.
have a pumpkin. It is on the same.
I honestly like almost every kind of squash.
Yeah, and well,
I
they're not all
can't say
created
there's
equal.
any squash that I don't.
Like butternut squash is more like a sweet potato.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
Yeah.
pumpkin. Like,
Yeah, squash I got no problem with.
I have a bunch of them on my
Still
counter.
like
I
a
can't
pumpkin.
wait to dig in and do something. I'm gonna make a soup. I had a butternut squash soup the other day from Panino's to go reordered. It was really, really good. I'm sure it was nice and
Sounds
fattening.
delicious.
Yeah, I don't know how much butter and whatever they use inside their soups, but it was really good. They make their food really is.
Yeah.
It was either split pea
we're really-
or butternut squash.
We have some really good food options on Staten Island.
We do. And I have to say that since Tina's been meal prepping, we've saved some money and
Oh.
we've also saved some calories by enjoying her meals and not ordering out every day or eating pizza.
Yeah.
Last night I was excited to have pizza, so I had pizza last night.
I had a slice of pizza yesterday afternoon myself, and I haven't had it in so long, and I was like, this really is good, but you just don't make a habit of it.
Arturo
You
made-
just
No.
have
But
occasionally
pizza, we've talked about many times,
everything
pizza's
in
not
moderation.
terrible for you. It's not really a terrible thing. It's better than ordering french fries and chicken fingers, which I would love.
Don't talk about this.
He made penne vodka sauce. He made vodka sauce and made a vodka sauce pie with fresh mozzarella. Oh my god, it was so good.
Oh, you didn't just have pizza, man.
No, it was no pasta. No, he does that too. No pasta. That's
Oh,
what
I thought that
it was
what
just
you
the
were
vodka sauce. Just the vodka sauce. and
Oh,
fresh
okay,
mozzarella.
that sounds delicious.
No, when he makes that baked ziti pie, I mean that's like carb central. Like you eat that after a workout.
Yeah, that's
When you need to fill your body with a lot of carbs, you go for the jugular on that one. I haven't seen him make that. That's like the taco pie, which I like too, but it's got a lot going on between the meat and the taco, the nachos, and so good. Which is nice to be able to eat inside,
Yes, it is.
adding to the social
So
socialization of bowling.
you talked about that. Your first place to go, you think, is going to be Sushi place.
That's the place I'm looking forward to go. It might be the first place to eat indoors. But you were just saying, so what would be your go-to place?
So many good places.
Is there a place that you haven't gone to that you didn't?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I went to a lot of the same places to
Yeah.
get outside.
Yes.
And just because the ambiance, or just, listen, we're all creatures of habit. You go somewhere on the way home, your neighborhood.
Yes. There was one place that we were gonna do takeout from, but we didn't. But I think that I'm gonna go to Taverna on the Bay.
Oh, Taverna. I have not been there yet. Did they do outdoor?
They did not.
I didn't know if they had room in the back to do outdoor.
And their takeout their delivery was kind of limited. They probably were busy. The food we love going there. We love going there with a big group. That's
I've
usually where my
heard their
friends
food is
go.
great, and
Yeah.
I've heard like family style is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
But I have not had
But
it.
I think that might
It's in well, it's in the hood. It's in your neighborhood. All right.
I think that might be the place.
I like the sushi place because it's near my house.
Right.
It's
I like to
home.
go someplace local and makes you feel like you're
The first place I did eat inside was Rab's Country Lanes.
right.
So, I mean, does that count? I mean, we would eat inside. I felt so
Not officially.
well. So during this, a lot of times we take our lunch outside, but we would eat. Now we had set up the bar for the staff to go in and eat and use that space just to get away inside.
Right.
And so we were eating in there a little bit, but then I would feel guilty about eating at my desk. The one Wednesday night I had a wrap from the snack bar and I rolled it up and I went like this.
Right. You feel like you had to hide.
I had to hide it. So last night it was so nice to take my pizza. It was like I could
You
eat
didn't
my
have to
pizza.
hide it.
I didn't have to hide it. But last Wednesday I felt like a criminal.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go outside. I was in the middle of something. I didn't want to stop. And I was like,
Right.
you know what? Let me just get this done because it was getting late. And that's the only bad part about kind of coming back to normal. And we were so trained and we were eating early and doing things.
Yeah.
Kind of getting back in some of the old habits, which
Yeah.
isn't good. So,
Yeah.
but I'm more aware of it.
At least, yeah.
Eating late, like last night, it was about 9:00 when I had pizza. We
Yeah.
were busy, we were trying to whatever, and I was like, all right, and I wasn't really hungry. Especially this doesn't help when you're
doesn't.
like I was hungry, but you don't feel it.
Yeah.
Because you feel just stuffy. Anyway, well, we're looking forward to getting back to just again some normalcy. It's a step in the right direction, as everybody says, and it really is nice. That smell last night wasn't just sweaty people.
Yeah.
It
was nice. It was the way it's supposed to be.
Beer, pizza.
Yeah.
Well, Naz, happy Thursday, episode 128.
Crazy.
Holy Moses.
I would like the high tables with the high chairs.
I know. When we came in here, Naz was like, "Oh, well, this is different." I was like, "Well, I can't take the tables from the bar, which is what we were using. I didn't want to go in the bar and tear it apart.
Dismantle.
So we might have to. Naz doesn't like the table, so we might have to figure something out. I don't mind. I mean, we're so used to sitting up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Makes you feel taller too.
Makes me feel taller. I feel super short.
You should. Well,
I am short. Okay, that's enough. Anyway.
So now that indoor dining has resumed, we didn't talk about. So when you walk into the building these days, we now have thermostats, thermometers at each of the doors. We're asking you to take your temperature upon entering the building. If you are coming here on a day that you don't normally bowl, or you're just coming into open bowl, you have to provide contact information for contact tracing and table service. That's one of the biggest things that we have to all retrain ourselves. We cannot order from the counter and take the food over the counter. It has to be brought to you and you order from the table.
Right.
So we're working on some of the kinks. It's working pretty well.
It's working pretty good. The
Uh,
girls were
last night-
hustling last night.
And they were hustling between outdoor, indoor, but it's all table service. Again, not our rules. However, I think as a bowler,
I think I like it better.
we were spoiled. On Tuesday nights, we text Caitlin our orders.
Yeah.
Or she'll come over and say, what do you want? And we were doing that anyway.
Right.
And there are a lot of our regulars do that.
Yes.
Okay, we're ready, and we're creatures of habit. We all eat the same things all the time.
Right.
So, hey, we're ready. I'm on lane 33. And that's all we have to do. But if you're looking for service, it has to be to the table, enjoy it at the table. We didn't shut any tables down. We want people to be able to separate. We're not at 25% capacity. So I'm hoping that it works each night.
I think it will.
And when we were concerned about slowing the pace down, it really wasn't too bad last night. So knock on wood, that continues.
Yeah.
Everybody just keeps the pace so the next group can come on and follow.
Yeah, and hopefully within a reasonable amount of time.
And
We
before
don't
we
have
know
to do
it,
that
we'll be
anymore.
using all the lights.
That's what we want. That's
I don't know when
step.
that is. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know when 50% is supposed to be November 1st for indoor dining.
For indoor
Again, that doesn't
dining.
really change anything for us. So it'll change the ability to use part of it.
The only scary thing is, there's a couple areas that the
Little uptick.
number is creeping up a little bit, but I think that that's going to happen. I like the fact that they're using a 7-day average instead of just looking at 1 or 2 days. And honestly, I wish they would separate the large numbers out so we can see the real number.
Yeah, that list was the top 20 zip codes in New York City with this uptick in cases, and 2 of them were, to your point, were on Staten
Yeah, but they
Island.
were those 2 with 3%. I'm talking about
Take the others back.
the ones in the top 5. I mean, some ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Yeah,
That's the concern.
right.
So, hey, in the meantime, wear your mask, stay healthy.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Be like Harry, please.
Wear your mask.
Wear your mask. When you come bowling, wear your mask. Keep your mask on. When you're dining at the table, you don't have to wear your mask. But as soon as you get up from the table, the mask goes on. And it's, it sounds ridiculous because you think about it. You're sitting at a
I'm
table
sitting
and I
here.
don't
What's
wear
the
my mask.
difference? Right.
But it's more about passing people and being around other people and just be aware of your surroundings. I think that's what it comes down to. So keep the mask on.
Yeah. I think for the most part, people are being pretty good.
Let's keep it going.
For the most part.
Day 46 of us being reopened in the books.
Yeah.
Almost. Episode 128. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. It might not look like this. Because Naz is already telling me we have to change it for next week.
He agreed with me before, so.
I agree.
We might have a Studio 710 sign. We don't know.
You never know.
Yeah.
But we're in the fishbowl. And so we might not even be here next week.
No.
We'll see.
We don't
We'll
know.
figure it out. But next week, same time, lunchtime with us. Lunchtime with Nazareth and Frank.
Could be a new name.
Well, we talked about snots during your lunchtime, so I hope that you enjoyed
That
your
won't
lunch
happen
after
again.
the snot
Yeah,
conversation.
we won't do that.
Well, we will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, stay safe, everybody.
Stay safe. Nazareth.
That was awesome.
Bye, everybody.